This is class 10 of my arithmetic course. Today we're going to be taking a test. Now if you're in this class, that means you finished the practice test from class 9. You've done all the studying that you need to do to prepare for this test. Now you only get one shot at this test. I'm not going to write another test because it takes me 4 hours to write these tests, and I've already written 3 of the tests, 2 practice tests and this actual test. Now, as you can see, here's the test. Now again, you're probably asking, well, why are we taking a test? This isn't a real course. Well, number one, this is a real course. And number two, the reason you're taking a test in this course is the same reason you're going to take a test in any other course. It's to show yourself and anyone who needs to know that you know this material. Again, there are millions of people all around the world that are going to make you spend thousands of hours learning this material. And they're going to tell you that you can't do anything else during that time. But this test is going to prove to those millions of people that you know the material, and you don't have to spend thousands of hours of learning that material, and there's nothing they're going to be able to do to argue against it if you have this test to prove that, again, you know the material. Now you're probably thinking, well, why are we going to go over how to grade the test? I haven't taken the test yet. Well, what this is going to do is it's going to show you what I expect. So number one, subtract 1 point if you didn't write your name at the upper right corner of your paper. All right, so you need to write your name. Subtract 1 point if you don't write the date. Subtract 1 point if you don't write the title of the course, which in this case would be arithmetic. Subtract 1 point if you don't write a title for the test. Subtract 1 point, number 5, subtract 1 point in every problem where you didn't write the problem number. See how these problems are numbered? So if you forget to write the problem number in 25 of the problems, all 25, then that means you have to subtract 25 points. That reduces your score all the way to a 75. So there are 25 questions in this test, and each question is worth 4 points for a total of 100 points. Number 6, the green, subtract 1 point in every problem where the problem number was not circled. I want you to circle all your problem numbers. And that brings me to an important point here. So here's what the test would look like if you circle problem numbers. Here's what the test looks like when you don't circle all your problem numbers. So it just makes it harder to see. Okay, when you write anything on paper, you want to make it as easy for the reader to understand as possible. So here you see periods next to the numbers, but that's just not as good as circling the problem numbers. For some reason, students just don't want to circle their problem numbers. I don't know why, they just don't want to do it. But just do it, because that makes things a lot easier for the reader. All right, so that was number 6. Number 7, the orange, subtract 1 point in every problem where an equal sign was necessary, but you didn't write it. I don't think there's an equal sign necessary in this test, to be honest with you, so don't worry about that one. Number 8, subtract 2 points in every problem where it was necessary to show your work, but you either didn't show the work or you did the work incorrectly. If most of the work is correct and you made only a few minor errors, subtract only 1 point. So again, if you don't show any of your work, as you can see here, then subtract 2 points. That's half the points for each problem is just showing your work and doing the work correctly. But again, if you just make a few minor errors, then you can give yourself at least 1 point. But they have to be minor errors. If you do half the work incorrectly, then just take off just take off 2 complete points. Number 9, subtract 1 point in every problem where the answer is not rectangled. So I want you to rectangle all your answers. But again, as you can see in this problem, work was not required. Number 10, subtract 2 points in every problem where the answer is either wrong or not written. So the answer needs to be written and it needs to be correct. And number 11, subtract 1 point in every problem where the answer requires a specific unit. For example, feet, pounds, seconds. These are mostly for word problems. So subtract 1 point in every problem where the answer requires a specific unit, but you didn't write it. So for example, see the green down here? We need feet there. If you didn't write feet, if it's a word problem that requires a number and it requires you to tell the reader what you're counting and you didn't do it, then subtract a point for that. All right, so that's how you're going to grade your test. So when you do the test, you're going to get out a separate piece of paper, a pencil, put it in front of you, put away everything, your no internet access, no computer in front of you, no TV, no help from anybody, no textbooks, no books, nothing, just you sitting there taking the test. This is going to prove that you know the material. And so again, this is your test here. And if you want, you can print that. You can take a screenshot and print this out, so you can have it right next to you. But on your paper, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the answer, the problem number circled answer, and all the work that's required. A 90 to 100, that means you know the material really well. If you score anywhere from 80 to 89, that means you know the material really well, but there's a few minor things that you need to work on. If you score 70 to 79, that means you know the material, but you don't know it that well. There's quite a few things that you need to work on. And in a score of 0 to 69 means that you really don't know the material, and you're doing something wrong in this course. Now, after you're done with the test, I'm going to give you the answers, and you're probably going to say, well, if you're going to give me the answers, then why can't I just write down the answers and pretend like I did the test? If this is some sort of a homeschool setting where your parents are making you do this test, you're going to say, well, I can just write the answers. Well, in all the problems that require you to show work, you have to actually show the work in your writing. So just writing down the answers isn't going to help you on those problems. You have to actually show the work. Now, if it turns out that you can't show the work on any of those problems, that proves two things. It proves, number one, that you can't do any of this stuff, and number two, that you've been lying because all the other problems you probably just wrote the answer to. So don't think that because I'm giving you the answers that I'm allowing you to cheat. You have to show the work in your own writing. That's pretty much it. So you can take a screenshot of both these images here if you want, or you can take a screenshot of this image alone. Or you can take a screenshot of each page separately. Take a screenshot of that and that. Take a screenshot of that and a screenshot of that. And also, if you want to take a screenshot without the blue lines, sorry, this thing keeps jumping around. I don't know why it does that. If you want to take screenshots without the blue lines so you can print it out easier, you know, if you print out the page with the blue lines, then it's going to use up your color ink. I guess that's unavoidable when you see the blue. Anyway, that's the best I can do producing these videos myself. I'm trying to make this easy for you, but I'll figure it out as we go along with this course and other courses. All right, so you're going to time yourself. It takes 2 hours, a maximum of 2 hours. You need to finish the test in under 2 hours. It only takes about an hour to finish the test, but it's not a race, so you should have 2 hours maximum. And so pause the video, and when you come back, we'll look at the answers together. All right, we're back. So you should have finished the test, and here's the answers. And just so you know, some of these answers have two parts. For example, number 18, it says tens place, and then it has 20. That means there were two parts to that particular problem, and there's two answers, and the two answers are separated by a comma. So go ahead and check your answers. Now, if you didn't score well, that means you're probably not doing what I'm telling you to do. You're not doing the homework. You're not studying for the test. You're not taking the course seriously. In some cases, it may be that you're just not able to finish the test on time. You may have some problems that can't be helped. But I would say 99.9% of the time, it's usually just that you're not doing enough work. You're not doing the homework. You're not studying for the test. You're not taking the course seriously. So that's the first test. And you're going to have more opportunities as the course goes along to raise your score. But you want to take this test. You want to print out the test. 3-hole punch it, put it in your binder, put your answers along with the test, and keep that test for probably the next 5 years or maybe the rest of your life, because that proves that you learned this material. And so that was the first test of my arithmetic course. And in the next class, we're going to be learning about fractions. So I'll look forward to seeing you in class number 11.